So we are here at a talent event, so I figured I'd talk a little bit about what I do, what my job is. I'm a consultant at the software development unit for Xebia. In the basics, I build software, but I'm also a consultant, so I also advise our customers on their technical choices. Currently I mostly focus on designing front-end architecture, but I also have a background in designing back-end system. Also a big part of my job is actually coaching the teams at the customer. This is mostly code review. I make sure that the code meets the quality standards and I give them feedback on what other people in the team are programming. But there's also a lot of knowledge sharing that I do. And to be honest, knowledge sharing can be deeply technical knowledge, but also it's just talking about cool stuff. And that's also why I'm here today. I just like to talk about some cool stuff. I really like progressive web apps, and I think more people should know about what it is and what you can do with this. So it's titled Boosting Conversion with Progressive Web Apps. I have to explain what is a progressive web app. Definition that I really like is it's a web app that deserves to be on your home screen. And that means that it must feel like a native app. It must be reliable like a native app. And this means that it also works when you're driving through a tunnel, when you have no internet connection. It should work offline. Also, the web app should be full screen, and this is different to the websites that we mostly use. It should also be fast, it should have smooth animations. It should really just be like an app. The progressive part of the term progressive web app means that it works on every browser. When you have the latest greatest browser, you get the latest greatest features, but if you have an older browser, it still works, but you just don't get the nice cool new features. Like offline, if your browser does not support being offline as a web app, you won't get offline capability on an older browser. But it still works, you can still use it. The term is originally coined by Google. It's a bit of a marketing term, but to be honest, it's very effective because you need to get your message out there. You need to talk about the cool stuff that you do it. So it's important to have a good name. Another definition of a web app that I really like, it's a website that's reliable, fast and engaging. Now you're getting a bit into the marketing speak here, but it does describe what a progressive web app is. To be honest, I just like to think of a progressive web app as the web at its best. But I can talk about this all day. To be honest, I should just demo what a progressive web app is. And I have a couple of nice examples. So first I'd like to start off with Twitter. Twitter rebuilt their mobile app to be a progressive web app. This means if you go to twitter.com on your mobile currently, you will get this website, and this is a great example of progressive web app. As you can see, there's an animation here. If I scroll down, I can scroll really fast. It's an infinite scroller. I can go to different pages. And this is just really fast, much faster as you might have been used to on previous websites. Another nice example that I want to show you is Pinterest. Pinterest also redesigned their whole mobile web experience. As you can see, again, infinite scroller, lots of images there, page navigations, really fast. To be honest, I can't see all of it. It's fit, yeah. But as you can see, it integrates with the rest of the internet, which is very useful for marketing and promotion. I also like to show you the Financial Times new website. It's here, and this has a really nice offline capability. So currently we're online, but I can change this to offline. I can actually still use the app. As you can see, I can look at the articles. Unfortunately, the whole of Financial Times is behind a paywall, so I can't read the full articles. I know there's one article, I think this article is something that's free, so I can just browse through the article. And to be honest, this is really different experience than what you're used to, because I don't have any internet on. It's offline. So how do you get this on your home screen? I have a nice screen recording of how to do this. You have to wait for it to restart again. You see it already appearing on your home screen, and then you can launch it and it's all full screen. Okay, you start from the beginning. We're on Google now. We navigate to a nice website, and now it'll have a dialog there. Add to home screen. Click it, and boom, it's already on your home screen. And if you see this is what it looks like if you have lots of progressive web app installed. As you can see, there's really no difference between a web app and a native app and a progressive web app on your home screen. You can't tell the difference. You might think, okay, this add to home screen dialog, it might seem a bit spammy. Honestly, we don't need more pop-ups and dialogues on the home screen. And there is some thought behind this. As a developer, you can't trigger the app install banner. It's really triggered by the browser. Google decides when you get the prompt to install on your home screen, and they're constantly changing the heuristic to get it just right. So what you need, the browser tries to detect that you're using the web app often. You are interacting with it, you're starting it again, and then after a couple of times you visit it, then you get your dialogue. So it's not in your face, it's not very intrusive. As I mentioned, there are many big names out there. I showed you Twitter and Pinterest. There are also lots of other names on there. Most of them have the mobile websites. When you just browse to trivago.com or aliexpress.com, it goes directly to the progressive web app. The other ones where I have the URL there, you have to type in this URL. But I would really advise you that after this talk you have a look and feel for yourself. It's really different experience from a regular website. Also, I just talked to the Trivago guys who are here at with the stand, and well, they have a nice progressive web app. But to be honest, it can be a bit faster, and they told me that they are working on a new relaunch of their progressive web app, which will be much faster. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is truly something that the big names are working on. Also note that the last three of these examples are e-commerce companies. AliExpress, big Chinese retailer, part of the Alibaba group. Flipkart is basically the Amazon of India. And you have Lancome, of course, of the cosmetics brand. And there are many more. I advise to have a look at the Lancome website, or at the PWA Rocks website. But as I mentioned, progressive web apps are engaging. You can think of it like Facebook, and I saw a tweet this morning. Engaging is basically a Silicon Valley term for addicting. It's a bit negative, but it is true. You just want to keep using it. And I have a nice demo of this as well. To be honest, nowadays users are very much trained to have infinite scrolling experiences. So if I get this on my screen, this is actually a project that I'm working on at my customer. And to be honest, I'm really proud of the infinite scrolling experience here. So if I go to a product page, I pick this one because there are lots of products. You can scroll down and it's really smooth. You should really try this on your mobile phone. I'm struggling to get the gestures right on this laptop, but to be honest, you can just give it a big swipe and it'll scroll all the way down. On a laptop you can even go with page down. As you can see, you can scroll all the way down and all the way up again. It's just really smooth experience. So what features can a PWA have? So you have the app install banner to make it available on your home screen. To be available on your home screen, it is a requirement to work offline. Because honestly, when it's on your home screen, you do have to set a higher standard for your user, so it should work also when you have no internet available. Full screen should have a fast load, interaction and navigation experience. It can have push notification, it's really up to you to implement this. This is also now available, and push notifications means that it can push a notification even when you have the website closed, which is really nice for re-engagement, which is very important if you're an e-commerce website. Nowadays the web platform has lots of features. Some of the features that are on this slide are video capture, image capture. You can have access to the file system. You of course saw the offline capabilities, full screen capabilities, Bluetooth capabilities is all available when you're a web developer or you have a nice website. But I also like to point you to the upper right corner. There's also payments in there. And I'm going to give a demo of how nice in-app purchases on the web can be today. Also some features that Google is still working on. It's features like barcode scanning, a native share button, so you can share it straight away to WhatsApp or Facebook, just like you do at your regular native apps. But for e-commerce, this payment experience is very important for conversion. So I'll show you a demo. And what we're seeing in the demo is screen recording again. And we start off at the basket page and you're going to proceed to the checkout. But notice how few keyboard interactions are required. It's just tapping around, which is really what you expect when you're on mobile. Because honestly, it's not a great experience to be using a keyboard on mobile. So let's reload this. So you're on your basket page, you're scrolling down, looking at the summary. Proceed to checkout. And you get a native dialog. It shows you your order summary, shipment information, payment information. You can select shipment addresses. And it's all pre-filled. This is really important. It's all pre-filled. And then there's a nice pay button at the bottom. And just hit pay. Everything was already filled. Add in your credit card code. Confirm. And you've already paid. And this is very important if you want to increase your conversions. So to be honest, you're a technical person, you're a developer, and you just want to use this and you're already convinced by this talk. But to be honest, you need to convince your boss or your customer in my case. And when you're talking to a customer, you really need to use different language. When your boss typically understands stuff like revenue, conversion, engagement, words like that. And to be honest, we already saw a revenue increase at Costas when we redesigned their website to be much faster. But I also saw some publicly available data on different companies. So we want to improve conversion. Well, the AliExpress PWA increases conversion by 104%. Lancome increased conversion by 17%. I think these are really nice percentages to present to your boss, and they're very convincing. Also engagement, how often do your users use your web app? How often they come back? Well, Twitter Lite increases their pages per session by 65%. That's really a lot. AliExpress increased time spent on their site by 74%. So these are the statistics to really convince any business stakeholder. And to be honest, there are really lots of statistics out there. For a native app, you always need to install. You need to dedicate some of the storage space to this app. When you don't have any storage space left, you won't install the app. To be honest, there are some statistics there that a typical user installs 0 apps per month. So it's very difficult to convince him to install your app. Also very important, when you have in-app purchases on a native app, you need to hand off 30% of the top of your revenue to Apple or to Google. You don't need to do this on the web. All revenue goes to you. This is also an interesting statistics. 86% of the time users spend on their mobile phone is in native apps. But to be honest, 96% of the commercial tasks are performed on the web. Just because people like to spend their time on Facebook and WhatsApp does not mean you have to be a native app like Facebook or WhatsApp, because it's really difficult to convince your customers to install them. Maybe they install the most well-known e-commerce app of the country, Amazon if you're in the USA, maybe it's Zalando, Coolblue or something, but when you're not any of those brands, it's difficult to get your users to install your app. So really, go with a web app. You just get users much easier and also much cheaper. To be honest, developing a high quality web experience can be difficult. You need to have capable developers. Not everything is available on the web. There's lots of features in this list that I showed you before, but new stuff like ARKit, face recognition, fingerprint is not still on that list. If you really need that, go with a native app. And also, and this is a rather big one, there is no app install banner yet on iOS. It's only available for Chrome on Android. It's difficult to tell what Apple's gonna do. It's difficult to predict the future. Of course, it does compete with the revenue they get from native apps. They might do it, they might not do it. The good news is Apple is working on offline capabilities and notification capabilities. To be honest, the web is everywhere and innovation goes really fast nowadays. This is also why I moved more towards front-end development. Both the developer experience and the user experience keep getting better. If you really like this kind of stuff, you can come talk to me. You can talk to Charlene, who's also here in the room, and you can also talk to our account management, Pete, who can also tell you a lot about our company. So we are hiring. You do need some work experience, but we can always talk to you about how to become a new colleague of ours. We do both consultancy and in-house development. In January I'm giving a talk regarding progressive web apps, so watch the xebia.com/events and also follow us on Twitter about our future announcement. Thank you for your attention.